Reality, as most of us see it, feels external. A vast, indifferent field of objects and events that unfold with or without us. But what if that's an illusion? What if the world isn't happening to you but through you, as a reflection of the consciousness that observes it? The mirror principle begins with this reversal. It states that everything you perceive outside is shaped by the state you hold inside. Your awareness is not a camera capturing the world. It is a lens that bends the world around it. In physics, this idea appears as the observer effect. Particles exist in a cloud of probabilities until measured. Observation collapses the wave of potential into a definite outcome. Reality, therefore, does not crystallize until awareness interacts with it. The act of seeing is the act of creating. You could walk through an empty forest and believe the trees exist independently of you. But the moment your eyes fall upon them, the scene becomes real. Not because the forest was missing, but because your consciousness entered the frame. Reality waits for your cue to perform. Everywhere your focus goes, energy condenses into form. Where you withdraw attention, it dissolves. This means your very presence shapes the structure of your world, and your state of mind sculpts its texture. The mirror principle is not metaphorical. It's a law of participation. Everything observed changes through the act of being seen. There are no neutral observers. Each of us, by observing, adds meaning to the fabric of existence. At the quantum scale, this looks like a wave collapsing into a particle. At the human scale, it appears as circumstances aligning with belief. Focus, in this sense, is a creative force. The more you observe something with clarity and intent, the more it solidifies into your life. Awareness is not passive perception, it is creation in motion. Your thoughts send ripples into the unseen field around you. Every expectation presses against the fabric of reality, carving subtle grooves in the probabilities that surround you. This field is not mechanical, it is alive, soft enough to mold, firm enough to push back. Every emotion you hold, every assumption you repeat, imprints itself upon that field and returns as experience. Gratitude invites more to be grateful for. Resentment multiplies the evidence of unfairness. Reality doesn't punish or reward, it mirrors. Entropy, the natural drift toward chaos, waits where consciousness withdraws. A room left unattended decays. A friendship ignored fades. The garden you neglect grows wild again. Entropy is the visible face of forgetfulness, the measure of where your awareness has left the frame. To bring attention back is to reverse entropy. Every act of care is the universe noticing itself through you. When you clean, maintain, or organize, you are pushing against the default state of disorder, declaring, "This matters." And the moment you make that declaration, reality reshapes accordingly. This is why responsibility is sacred. Your attention is the organizing principle of your world. What you care for, you animate. What you ignore, you allow to fade back into potential. And so, life becomes a feedback loop. Not a hierarchy of luck and loss, but a mirror of participation. You are never just living inside reality. Reality is living inside you. Once you see this, the idea of blame begins to dissolve. The external world stops being an enemy to fix and becomes a teacher to interpret. Everything you encounter, every success, delay, or frustration becomes data about your inner state. When you are anxious, life mirrors confusion. When you are clear, events align. The pattern is immediate, though the delay between cause and reflection can disguise it. But pay attention closely, and you'll see the world reorganize the moment you do. Every relationship reflects your current frequency. The impatient partner, the unreliable friend, the dismissive colleague, all are mirrors showing you qualities that remain unintegrated within yourself. The purpose of these reflections is not guilt, but awareness. They exist to help you see what you've disowned. If you constantly attract chaos, it may be because order feels unfamiliar. If people undervalue you, perhaps you undervalue your own contribution. If the world seems hostile, your inner dialogue may be built on defense. The mirror never lies, but it never condemns. It only reports. And this is the uncomfortable beauty of the mirror principle. It removes every excuse. The moment you accept that life is reflecting your consciousness, you reclaim power. And with power comes accountability. You can no longer hide behind chance or victimhood. You are the artist, the architect, and the editor of your experience. Most resist this realization because it demands maturity. It asks us to sacrifice our favorite stories, the ones that explain why we can't, why it's unfair, why others must change first. The ego thrives on those stories, but the mirror waits patiently, showing the same lesson until we integrate it. Each repeated pattern is not punishment. It's a loop of teaching. Life will present the same themes again and again: rejection, scarcity, betrayal, until we stop reacting and start understanding. Once the lesson is owned, the loop dissolves instantly. The reflection updates because the observer has evolved. Projection psychology calls this mechanism shadow work. What we judge in others is what we repress in ourselves. Arrogance triggers us because we fear our own power. Success intimidates us because we've denied our own potential. When we condemn visibility as vanity, we betray our hidden desire to be seen. The moment we reclaim these exiled traits, acknowledging that arrogance is distorted confidence, that jealousy is unrealized ambition, they stop appearing as enemies outside us. Integration heals projection. The mirror clears. Every emotional spike you feel toward someone or something is a breadcrumb back to self-awareness. Instead of asking, "Why is this happening?" ask, "What is this showing me about me?" That single question transforms reaction into revelation. It dismantles years of unconscious resistance. Your home, your body, your finances, all are mirrors. The clutter on your desk reflects the clutter in your thoughts. The state of your health mirrors how consistently you've listened to your body. Money that flows or stagnates mirrors your relationship with worth. The outer world speaks in symbols, not words. It is consciousness translated into matter. This is why cleaning, paying bills, repairing, or organizing are not trivial chores. They are acts of alignment. When you restore order in your environment, you train the subconscious to value clarity. Physical order anchors mental order. Entropy retreats. The more coherence you build inside, the more coherence you witness outside. And when both mirror each other, when mind and environment become congruent, creation becomes deliberate. Conscious creation begins when you realize that reality is programmable through state, not struggle. It's not passion that shapes the world, it's steadiness. A mind that is clear and consistent bends probability more effectively than a mind that oscillates between desire and doubt. Thoughts provide direction, but state determines solidity. A scattered mind leaks energy. A centered mind directs it. Reality responds not to intensity, but to coherence. Creation, then, is the art of holding a stable inner tone. When your thoughts, emotions, and actions move in the same direction, the field around you synchronizes. Events begin to self-organize. Opportunities align without force because you are broadcasting a steady signal. This is why discipline is the true form of magic. It is the decision to hold alignment when the mirror tests you. Every delay, conflict, or inconvenience is a calibration check. Do you still believe in your signal? When you remain calm, the reflection stabilizes. When you panic, it distorts again. To master reality, you must master neutrality, the ability to observe without immediate reaction. Neutrality is not apathy, it is precision. It allows you to respond from clarity instead of emotion. In that neutrality, creation becomes efficient. From this centered state, action becomes clean. You no longer chase results, you build structures that allow them. Systems replace chaos. Order amplifies focus. The more structure you bring into form, the easier it becomes to maintain inner stillness. This reciprocity between the mental and the material is the essence of mastery. When results delay, the mirror is not punishing you, it is aligning complexity. The universe needs coherence to echo clarity. Impatience introduces noise, slowing the signal. Patience, not passive waiting, but relaxed conviction, compresses the timeline of manifestation. Eventually, you stop asking, when will it happen, and start living as though it already has. That state of certainty is creation's final ingredient. The mirror reflects what you are, not what you wish. Desire says, I don't have. Conviction says, it is done. Reality listens to conviction. And so, true manifestation is less about summoning something new and more about stabilizing the awareness that it already exists in potential. The future you desire is not ahead. It is parallel, waiting for resonance. When your frequency matches it, you merge. To live this way requires composure. Composure is not coldness. It is spiritual gravity. It makes the outer world orbit around your centered awareness. When others react, you remain still, and that stillness becomes the organizing principle of every space you enter. Power, therefore, is quiet. It does not shout, it stabilizes. A disciplined mind becomes a magnetic field that brings chaos into order without words. This is leadership in its purest form, influence through resonance. When multiple stable minds interact, reality harmonizes. Shared belief becomes shared structure. Families, teams, and nations form around collective frequencies. The atmosphere of a home or workplace is not accidental. It is the combined tone of those within it. This means personal mastery is never private. Your coherence contributes to the order of the whole. Each mind is a node in a vast network of consciousness, and every thought adjusts the collective field slightly. Discipline of mind is therefore an act of service. When a group aligns around clarity, probability itself reorganizes. Innovations appear, cultures thrive, societies progress, not through command, but through coherence. When the mental field of humanity stabilizes, the mirror of civilization reflects higher order. You can sense this in small circles. Enter a room full of anxious people, and your heartbeat accelerates. Enter a room full of calm presence, and your breath slows. Energy entrains, states synchronize. Reality adjusts collectively. So mastery extends into leadership. To lead is not to dominate, but to hold a vibration steady enough that others align with it. The more neutral and coherent you remain, the more order ripples outward through the environment. The universe, being one field, organizes itself around stability. Boundaries protect this stability. You cannot influence if you are constantly absorbing the noise of others. Guard your state like a sacred flame, not by withdrawing from life, but by filtering what you allow to imprint your mind. The cleaner your awareness, the stronger your influence. Each difficult person you meet is a diagnostic mirror. The impatient coworker shows your hidden haste. The controlling partner reflects your fear of uncertainty. See them not as obstacles, but as calibration tools. They reveal the next layer of refinement within you. And when tension arises, resist the urge to fix the other. Restore your state first. The moment you realign, the reflection changes automatically. This is energetic causality, correction through consciousness, not control. Ultimately, the illusion of separation begins to fade. You realize that life is not a set of competing observers, but a single field of awareness expressing through many viewpoints. Each person, each event, each coincidence is a conversation between fragments of one intelligence learning about itself. You remain an individual, yet you know that individuality is how unity experiences diversity. You move through life not as an isolated mind but as a conscious node in a living system. Every breath, thought, and decision ripples through the web of creation. When you live from this understanding, manipulation loses appeal. You no longer need to force outcomes when you recognize that the field responds to your frequency automatically. You stop pushing reality and begin conversing with it. Reality is a mirror, not of what you say, but of what you are. Keep your inner state ordered, and the reflection will clarify. Maintain composure amid noise, and the world will quiet around you. Bring coherence to your thoughts, and life will begin to move with you rather than against you. In the end, mastery is not control, but correspondence. To master reality is to mirror clarity so precisely that the universe recognizes itself in your awareness. Then the border between observer and observed disappears. You become the still point through which the entire field aligns. Reality is not something you look at. It is something you generate. One state, one decision, one steady breath at a time.